These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Sounds like a sleazy movie.
I've never been arrested.
Knock on wood. I've been in the back of.
I've been detained.
I've been in the back of a cop car, but I wasn't.
Oh no, my closest was the security office at a Meyer.
Ooh, Meyer. I'm telling you what, them guys are. They think they're full-fledged cops and
and a security office at JCPenney. I had a bench warrant out for my arrest.
Jeez.
I was 19. Got that in the mail. I almost pooped myself. I called my dad.
I bet you did. What'd Dad say? Suck it up.
He made another phone call for me.
Parents are always there for one reason or another.
Hey, he knows some people in the legal field that were able to help me through. So I was charged with conspiracy to embezzle from JCPenney while I worked there.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, the person that was doing it said I was helping her.
Oh, just
as she got fired.
Yeah, no big deal. Let's see who we can take down. Oh, let's.
So I had one meeting with this attorney, who was also a family friend, the attorney, and then the prosecutor. One meeting, I was there for 5 minutes, and he dropped the charges.
Oh,
and I was in near tears the whole time. Thought I was going to go to prison and stuff.
And you were what? 18?
18, 19. Yeah, it would have been 18 still. So
Who went to prison?
And then I had a forever ban from JCPenney. I was never allowed to go back.
Oh, for absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And then I ended up back at McDonald's, and it was the best thing that happened to me in Lansing, probably. So
I've never worked in fast food.
It is an experience and something that I think everybody should do once.
These hands are meant for typing.
How much of that doing now?
That
are you doing now?
None. So, getting back to our topic, I respect you for the amount of said work you put in. I think what you do is, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do, 6 days a week, basically from before sun up to after sun goes down.
Especially right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it really sucks towards the end of October when it's dark at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I never see.
Like, I hate backing my trailer into my driveway when it's light out, never mind when it's dark out.
Well, it's
dark, it's flipping horrible.
Yeah. We've had a couple nights where we got back at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And I like dread it the whole way there. I'm like, oh.
I told my next door neighbor, I said, if you see the trailer halfway in the parking lot, or my driveway, I gave up.
Yeah. Just put the hazards on and walk inside.
Yeah, I just give up. No, so I think it's good to see the differences between what you do and what I do. I think we both need to. We both love our spouses immensely, but probably need to figure out days where we can show them that. I know I need to.
Yeah.
She does a lot, and I take it for granted sometimes. I try not to, but I'm not purposely doing it. Not to make it about our wives again, but they're our biggest support system at the end of the day.
True that, man.
Parents.
Someone's got to make money in my family.
What's that?
That somebody has to make money in my family.
Ugh, right? Mary,
well, it's not me.
Yeah, we know you're just a poor, struggling food truck artist. So on a completely separate topic.
Of course, because that's what we do.
Yeah. So last year, I was fortunate enough to set up my trailer, or not my trailer, but be part of a setup at U of M Stadium for Michigan-Ohio State game. And it started snowing, and honestly, it was a great experience. It was awesome. The spot that we got he charged me like $300 for like a 20-foot by 10-foot spot, which I'm now finding out was the most incredible deal I could have ever been offered. So this year I reached out to him to say, hey, a lot of Michigan games are front loaded. Can I get a couple games in? It's like, well, the spot's under new management. I'm like, okay. So I just got an email back that said that spot, if I want it, is $1,500 a game. I'm like, with what I have to cook in my sales last year for the biggest high profile game like of the year, I won't make that. I'll lose money.
Yeah.
And he's like, basically, you just got the most unbelievable spot. And like, I'm now thinking, did I take that for granted? Should I have worked longer? Because I only worked like 3 hours that day, or I only set up for like 3 hours that day. Do I even try to find another spot next to the biggest stadium that we have in the state just to see if I can, make a couple bucks, just depending on what I have to spend. And these aren't high profile games. It was like Illinois.
Yeah.
In November.
But it's Michigan, which is a big brand, and they're coming off a national championship appearance.
True.
Right?
True.
No, they did not make the game, but a playoff appearance at least. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a sellout. There's going to be 110,000 people in the stadium and another 20,000 outside the stadium. But again, we talked about that last year, where a lot of people, the people that are outside the stadium during the game, are there to tailgate, and they have their own food. They're bringing their own grills, and they're having a party on their own.
True. I was just kind of seeing if there's because I mean, we did in 2 hours, we did $1,000 an hour last time in 2 hours, in a pretty prime location. I mean, I don't know. I was floored when he told me what the price was. That's kind of where I was going. And I think a topic for, another day would be like, how much are you like, when it comes to events that have fees associated with them, what's your, what's the formula? What do you figure out, whether it's worth it to pay that fee, whether it's something that is going to make money or something that's just going to, weigh you down at the end of the day. So another topic.
I had an interesting, I mean, we can talk about it now. But I had an interesting conversation with Eric with Preston Time in Grand Rapids, who was set up with us at the GM event. Another one of the originals from Grand Rapids, actually started the Grand Rapids Food Truck Association, and started the Food Truck Fridays in Grand Rapids. Pretty much the reason why Grand Rapids even allows food truck is largely due to him.
Good for him.
And he was talking about fees and things, and he said he'll never do a percentage based again, that he'll take a flat fee every time, even if it's a little bit more than what he thinks it should be over a percentage. And then he will never do, he will avoid ticketed events if at all possible.
Oh yeah. Well,
and I would agree. I haven't done any. And I think Silver Lake was going to that this year, or going back to that.
Yeah, I think so.
That was a big reason why I didn't even want to entertain it, among other reasons. But I don't want to have to deal with tickets. I think there's too much that can go wrong with tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And me trying to adjust or figure out how many tickets an item should cost is not anything I want to have to do. It's just, but anyways, I mean, I would go as high, depending on the event, as high as 10% with no flat fee.
So to give you another example of like what you were talking about as far as the percentage. So the food truck rally that I went to last Monday was at a local high school. It was to benefit it was the high school open house. So people were coming to meet their teachers and whatever. But it was to benefit the senior prom. Okay. So the original plan that they offered was 20%. And I'm like that's not going to work. So then they lowered it to 10. So, we did $2,000. So to give them $200 to go towards, I guess, their senior prom or whatever, didn't hurt me too much. I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But our local attraction here called Cascades, which is like a man-made waterfall that lights up to music or whatever. For their Labor Day fireworks show, they want $350 to set up there and they have live music, people, whatever. But I would rather not pay that because of, where $350 is just a lot to, plus whatever you're cooking, you're in the whole $600-700 before you even make a sale.
So, I mean, yeah, so here's where for flat fees, I kind of move it to a percentage, So if you do $3,500 in sales, then you're 10%. What's the likelihood that you're going to do $3,500? If 10% is your comfortable range which is where I'm at, is it likely that I can do $3,500 in sales based on the event and what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Then it's okay. $350 to do that is not bad. I'm not going to. So, and here's the other question:
$3,000 a day.
Exactly. So you take the $350. Yeah. Are you going to do a $3,000 day somewhere else? Probably not. I mean, what?
Sorry, there you go.
No, you're fine. I thought I lost your audio. So yeah, I mean, you take the $350 off, and it's still a $3,000 day. Are you going to do that somewhere else on a normal day? So yeah, I mean, you're paying for a customer base.
The customer, I guess it's just the foot traffic. Sorry, I got to plug my iPad in.
No, you're okay. Let me do something real quick too while you're doing that.
Said to move my dog away.
5:30 and yoga at 7:30, so I'm gonna be home much tomorrow. Is that okay? Just want to make sure.
Just the background is the most iconic baseball park in the world.
Good. Well, I'm not looking right now.
Fenway Park.
Fenway is the most iconic, not Yankee Stadium or Wrigley or
no, Fenway Park.
No.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I think it depends on the traffic, depends on I'm still learning about how to pick and choose fees. Like most of the time I see it, it's like $100 to set up or something like that. And
yeah, $100 is easy. I think that's an easy call for a day, especially if it's a good day. Our farmers market that we did the last couple falls on a Saturday or Sunday, and we would sell out 99% of the time in 2.5 hours. They started charging last year and they wanted to do 10%. And I told them I would rather do a flat fee, and they came back with $100. So, and they probably came up with $100 based on the other trucks that are there and what they've collected on a 10%.
Yeah.
And back to why I don't like percentages when they do it is because not all trucks are treated the same that way. We typically have a higher average check than a lot of trucks.
Yeah. Yeah. You go to a taco truck that might be selling.
Yeah. They might have 3 times as many orders as us.
Yeah.
For the same amount of sales.
Exactly.
And make a shit ton more money on what they're doing than what we're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I can be comfortable with 10, like a 10% range for a flat fee, but I will always ask for a flat fee.
You and I were talking about the quote unquote world's largest food truck rally in Ionia.
Yeah.
At the Ionia Free Fair. Shout out to anybody who's actually going there.
Good luck.
So I reread the application,
mm-hmm.
and it was they gave 2 options. You could do a percentage base or you could do a flat fee.
I thought I read it as both, but that was probably me just reading through it quickly.
Yeah. So it was $400 flat fee, or was it 15% or something like that?
Yeah.
But they're expecting, 30 trucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, for 30 trucks, you need like what, 10,000 people?
Yeah. And they might be able to pull it. I mean, they are advertising it heavily through Facebook.
Very much so.
Again, Eric, who I talked to, the Preston Time, he he is familiar with the event and the organizer, and it does not sound like said organizer is very organized.
Yeah.
He was partially, or he knew people that were involved with another one he did in Michigan. And apparently they didn't realize that there was going to be a parking fee for people to get in. So all these trucks advertised to their fans.
Yeah.
And then they didn't come, they turned around at the gate because they weren't going to pay $20 for parking to come in and just get food.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it doesn't sound like he is super on top of everything all the time.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, we went through that kind of stuff with barbecue contests, you know.
Yeah.
You find a poorly organized contest and you don't go back.
Exactly.
Because it usually doesn't get better. So yeah, I'm kind of, and he's Eric is off.
We all went back to Newego.
It was a well-organized event.
Oh, that's right. Only the power was bad.
Yeah, organized shit show is what we like.
Love that contest.
Someone should bring that back.
Oh, I mean, you're from Newego. Why not?
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
Work on that in your free time.
So yeah, it's I like $100 a day. I like less than that, but that's kind of usually where I will draw the line.
I think
I have a hard time paying more than that for a single day. Menards offers their property. You have to enter into a lease agreement with them. And it's, when we did it, it was $650 a month, but you could set up as many days as you wanted. You could be there from open to close 30 days a week.
There's a barbecue truck in Lansing or outside of Lansing that sets up at the Menards they leave their trailer there every day. So I would assume it probably it's going to make that $650 back if that's what their going rate is.
I think you have to have the right Menards, and I know Firewise they've done in Wisconsin, West Allis, I think, or no, that's Lace. They do it at Menards. They've done it ever since they've opened.
Yeah, they do Menards. They do an Ace Hardware.
Yeah. So yeah, they're the reason I found out about. They gave me contact information for Menards, but clearly it's worth it for them. It wasn't for me, and it could have just been that Menards. And unfortunately, Grand Rapids is a town that only has 2 Menards, but they have 17 Lowe's and 17 Home Depots, and the 2 Menards are not in great locations. So
yeah, I mean, we have. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, it also, I think it depends on where they park you.
You don't get any say.
Yeah, it's you can't be up front like the hot dog guy because your cart, their cart's 4 foot by 4 foot, where your trailer's 26 feet long, and if you keep your truck attached, you're looking at 40 something feet.
Yeah, so the one that we set up, it was a parking lot. It was a joint parking lot with a whole bunch of other things. So there was a Target there, there was a Sonic there. A Meyer across the street. So they had us towards the end of the parking lot, but we were at the intersection of the roads for the parking lot, which lots of car traffic, but we didn't get any foot traffic from Menards.
Yeah.
And it was also the area in which they parked empty semi-trailers, flatbeds. And for pretty much the entire time we were there was one parked there. So I had to wedge. So I had to back the trailer in between the semi-trailer that was empty and the sidewalk, which I got pretty good at it.
It's good.
I have some pictures of, I was inches up against this trailer. It was pretty impressive. But yeah, part of that blocks it, and it doesn't make it look like we're there to serve food. It makes it look like we're just another trailer that's there.
You're just parking.
Yeah. So, I don't think it was the best situation. And unfortunately, the other Menards would be a better location for us, but that township is not as food truck friendly. They have policies, but they're more set up. So food trucks fall under the sidewalk sale policy for stores. So you can apply for three separate permits that are good for 30 days each. And they can't be. So you have to have at least a couple days in between the 30 days for each one. So at the most, I could get 3 months out of it.
Yeah.
They said the sidewalk sale thing is so that there's not a forever sidewalk sale at businesses.
Yeah.
But food trucks fall into that same purview for whatever reason. And I sent a very long, she asked for feedback, and I sent a very long email kind of stating our case and why food trucks shouldn't be treated that's the same way. And another one that I never got a response back from on that email, but
Yeah, I'm starting to, I guess our local town has one road in downtown that has pretty much all the brick and mortar restaurants.
Mhm.
And they have Food Truck Tuesdays, which is one block ahead. And they've built up a little amphitheater. People, they have 50 amp power for everybody. I mean,
Nice.
it's all really, really good. But we can't park there unless there's an event going.
Yeah.
And it's like hard. It's like, because the number one thing that we get on the Facebook when they post their Facebook about who's going to go down there or who's going to be there for this Tuesday or whatever,
Mhm.
the one comment that you see all the time is, why is it just lunch service? Why is it 11 to 1? Why can't it be open? And then so I ask them, why aren't you doing a night service? And the main reason is because the restaurants think they're going to lose too much business.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about that in one of our first episodes of kind of what we thought, and hopefully we can episode in the future, we can get into where do you work and where do you set up that is food truck friendly and where are you trying to stay away from?
Yeah. I would love to see every town incorporate into their park, because most towns do, even small ones have some sort of small amphitheater type area
Yeah.
in a park that they incorporate food truck parking. I mean, shit, with power would be awesome, so that you don't have generator noise.
Yeah.
And then make it open for a day or two a week. That includes an evening service. Even if that park is make it away from restaurants a little bit,
Yeah. Even if it's because they only run it 3 months out of the year. They run it through the summer. They're actually opening up a September one for the first time ever, because it's what everybody wants,
Yeah.
And so hopefully they do, car shows, stuff like that. This week they had a burnout pit and right down by the restaurants. And it's like, okay, so you have those all the way down there. We get the symphony orchestra up here. How do we make this a destination? It's like, you do it more times a week, or maybe, more times a month, whatever it may be. Do it on a Saturday, Saturday during lunch hour, that's fine. But anyway, so that's another topic for another day. Don't want to get too far down another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We've actually kept on topics too really good today.
Well,
Yeah,
for us, yes.
Because it's all about you. Just kidding. So is that it? Is this what we got? Oh boy.
Oh, can I talk again?
You've been doing it all day. Why stop now, bud?
Asshole.
I love you.
Yeah, whatever.
Like the brother I never wanted.
But you're stuck with me, so
I know, it's great. Make the best of it.
but yeah, so that's my weekend in a nutshell. Pretty busy.
It is.
I'm pretty tired all week.
Much respect. Much respect.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I do.
Might be some pity.
I mean, I can give you some pity, but nobody cries for you.
I'm trying to make it better. I'm trying to. I mean,
Look at the screen.
I don't want to.
The world's
Trying
smallest
to.
island.
I think we are. There's going to be some major changes in how we schedule next year. I think there's going to be a lot more small festivals. I think I'm going to really focus on that once the season's over and getting those scheduled. What's that?
Ask a question about that.
Sure.
So small festivals.
Yeah.
As soon as they're done, okay. So you said you're going to work on it kind of in the off season.
Yeah.
Are you sending an email now just to get on their radar, just to try to figure out?
As soon as I find them, yes.
Okay.
I'll send them an email now just to, hey, interested in doing your festival in 2023. Do you have dates in mind, and what is the process for getting on the list?
Okay. Good.
Because I know, I mean, especially in, I mean, these really, not really small ones, but in some towns, chamber members get preferential treatment. Newaygo was that way. So if you're a chamber member, you get first dibs on food vendors. I'm being a food vendor there. So for us, we had to go wait through a period until that cleared, and then we got selected. Unless we wanted to become a chamber member, which we're going to in Newaygo, just because we're there enough and I'm from there and I don't mind supporting that initiative. But yeah, it's always good to email now. I mean, I email all our places that I want to go back to in November. You know, it's a combination of a thank you letter and hope we can continue to work together next year. And then there's some cider places and other things that we weren't able to get into this year because they were fully booked pretty much.
Yeah, they booked
February.
We started booking.
Yeah, so I'll send emails to those guys and Facebook messages to get on their radars so we can get in the rotation on some of those. Maybe. A lot of those trucks only get out to there once a month, which is fine. I find a location I like and I like to keep going, but
yeah.
But I'm kind of getting over that a little bit. I think we're going to end up doing some food truck Fridays in downtown Grand Rapids. They only allow one barbecue truck Friday. So they tend to rotate those out. So we're not gonna be able to get to a lot of them, but because we started booking so early, and I don't like taking stuff off my calendar, we missed out on a lot of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of looser bookings for some of our, if we do anything regularly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of events that we were already booked for in January when they came out in March, so.
Yeah.
While I will start to look, I will try to resist penning things in on the calendar.
Yeah.
Outside of weddings and those festivals that we know of that are, we've already been invited back to Marcellus for the Bluegill Festival. And that is one where we left money on the table for sure. And the Granville Vintage Fest will be back too. But yeah, it's interesting, and I can't wait till we can get some other people on talking about what they see as a great day for sales numbers.
Yeah.
And it's double what
like,
is a good day for us. It's like, I can't do $8,000 in a day.
Yeah. That's like,
how does that, it's like the number doesn't even compute in my head.
Yeah.
When they're talking about 5,000 to 6,000 on a Friday, and then doing that again on a Saturday for, a food truck Friday, and then a small event or art prize or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can cook enough food to do that kind of number,
You could.
Yeah, I could. But yeah, if you can pull off three of those days a week, I don't need to work the other three,
So
I can go down to 3 days and just be a festival truck.
Yeah.
For a truck.
You can edit this out if you want to, but here's my point of view for you. Well, I guess I have a question and a point of view for you.
Yeah.
The question is, when you do these festivals, so you're talking about the one that you left money on the table for, right? Yeah. How many regulars did you have show up?
None.
Okay. So why not cut your portion sizes down?
Because it's an area, because we're still servicing our areas that we show up to regularly. We didn't have regulars because I didn't advertise. I didn't know times of service.
You didn't. Yeah, I know. This is the one you got like.
It was so last minute that I couldn't. And even on those days, the only time that I mentioned when we were going to be open was those mornings of that day. I think there was a pretty good potential for some regulars, because I know we had people in the area, and we had a couple people that stopped by from my old office.
Yeah.
One showed up right after we sold out, and the other one was fucking hammered and could barely walk. So
good for them.
Yeah, they were having a better time than we were. So yeah,
I think that's your.
Yes, our portions are big.
They are big. And I think
Our loaded mac is £1.50.
which is insane, man. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
I think for what you do, but do you think that gets you customers? Like, do you think that
Yes.
because you're giving away more, you're not making as much on your food as, say, some other barbecue truck, whatever. I make mine laugh. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not, but I don't have any complaint. I mean, I've had one complaint so far about the size of the coleslaw scoop I get.
Right.
You know, and I think that's where that's a main difference between you and I. But I'm wondering if that's where you could become.
Okay, so if I go a half an ounce less on each portion of mac and cheese, how much am I really gaining? Unless I cut those in half.
Instead of a 9x9, you do a 9x6.
That's all. Yeah, I mean,
that's what I do. The 9x6 for.
Right. So it's that
because it still feels big at the end of the day, because you hold it in your hand, you know, it still feels big, but it's like, I don't know, that would be my only thing for you, is that the amount of food you cook is amazing, but I think it's because of the amount of portions you give out. Like your nachos are in 9x6 or 9x9 containers.
Mhm.
You know, you could totally do them in a 9x6 container and everybody would still love them.
I think that we would have I think we've done it that way for so long now that it would be a hard transition. We'd be better off raising our prices by $1. I think we get less complaints that way than by reducing the size. But I've always pushed for the highest value possible and still making money.
For sure. I get
it. And
it.
this is not I'm trying to get rich off of.
No.
So as long as I can pay myself and pay all the bills and be just above break even, I'm good with that. So if I can provide the best value for the amount of money that people spend, like the numerous $70 checks that we get.
For sure.
Yeah.
I get it. I get what you do for sure. I'm just.
That's the empathy in me, and if I do less, I feel like I'm overcharging. Honestly, I've never been a fan of a festival size of food.
Yeah.
Upcharging just because you can.
Well, because I know there's a lot of people that'll do festivals that'll upcharge on the food because the traffic is there, you know. Or I've had people tell me that when I go from Jackson, which is, you know, I would say a small town, to like Ann Arbor, that I could, because it's Ann Arbor, I could up my prices by $1. You know, my prices are the same no matter what, and the amount of food that people get, you know, is no matter what. So I don't know. I love the fact that you get that the amount of food you give away, because that's who you are, and that's what you've been, you know, that's the value that you give.
Yeah.
But I think if that's the case, then your prices are way too low.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could be making more money. But macaroni and cheese is cheap, dude.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's cheap. Pork is cheap.
Pork's not cheap.
Yes, it is. It really is.
At $2 a pound now?
I just bought it for 99 cents.
Sorry, Meyer just had it for 99 cents. I forgot.
I didn't buy enough.
No.
I ran out of time last week. That was me being scatterbrained, and I missed Saturday night restock.
Yeah, how about me knowing that it was 99 cents a pound and still going to Gordon's because I know they had it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
is what it is. Like I understand what you do. I'm just saying that I can comfortably tell you that based off of trucks that I've been to, and you and me, your food's great, but your prices could be more. And I think people would.
We've had customers tell us that we can be charging more. Yeah. For what they get.
And for you, it's value, and I appreciate it.
I don't need to charge more. So
that is a great face.
It's
there's people that chase the dream for this. There's people that chase the money.
I'm banking on the economies of scale versus, I'd rather serve more people and make more money that way than serve less people and charge more for smaller portions, if that makes sense. So we just need to get to the scale part, and we will. And mac and cheese is one of those things that I can cook ahead,
Yeah.
So if we got to a point where we were doing heavily festivals and good sized, like if we were doing vintage festivals 3 weekends in a row to where I didn't have to run Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, like run service, and we could just do Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of thing. Then we can pre-cook macaroni and cheese a little bit and reheat it for the smoker, and it's fine, and you can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
And we can do more meat on our smoker than we have. We have not filled that thing yet this year.
No.
We came close for Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did 8 butts and 4 briskets, and yeah,
She's tight.
there is just
She
enough
still has-
room.
There still is room in the bottom, but
There's just enough room for there, so there's a little bit of space in between all the pans on the 2 racks, and then I still have the bottom left corner that's available that acts like the top right corner. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everything cooks a little bit slower, but yeah, I mean, and there's another smoker available to me, so I definitely have opportunity to be able to cook more. Yeah, I would.
I have my first festival next weekend, and I'm scared out of my mind to make sure that
You're going to be too busy or not busy enough.
too busy. I mean, I drove past it last year, and the food truck park was hopping, and it was a Sunday.
Yeah,
It's a 4-day festival. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like back to the 90s theme. They actually had the Verve pipe coming.
sweet.
Like, that's great, right? But I'm
Name 2 songs.
freshman and freshman. That's all I know. But anyway, my wife's really excited. But it's like I'm gonna have to have 2 people run the truck while I go out and get more food.
Yeah.
And am I comfortable enough with like me doing that? Instead of trying to send somebody to go get food for me. I'm gonna have the other smoker down there. I'm gonna have 2 smokers down there, one on the trailer, one next to it.
Mhm.
Do I even feel comfortable leaving my trailer downtown by itself? There's a lot of unknowns.
It is nerve-wracking, especially if you're cooking overnight. Yeah, but I mean, we have our little jetpack that we use for our square.
Yeah.
My fireboard just connects to the Wi-Fi, so I can see the smoker all night and set alarms and stuff just in case.
Yeah.
So if a door opened on it, I mean, I would know. I mean, by the time I got there, there's nothing I can do about it, but I say no. I mean, the only thing I wish it had was a switch to battery power alert.
Oh, yeah.
But that would be super handy because then I'd know if the fridges were on or not. Because we did lose power once at a festival where they had us plug into just like power that was on a lamp post.
Yeah.
And we shut everything down that we could. But yeah, everything was off in the morning. But luckily, I mean, I was only gone for 5 hours. So, I mean, fridges were still, I plugged everything back. I got everything back up and running. I think the fridges were at like 39.
Oh, well, that's good.
So,
Yeah. It's just, it's nerve wracking for me.
yeah,
but
I
I'm
mean,
sure I'll get through it.
you won't sleep the first night. You'll sleep the second night.
Well, I don't know if I'll sleep either night.
But you've done busy before. It's no different.
Yeah, but here's the thing is I'm now adjusting myself to busy. When I've done busy before, it's been busy out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like I've had some really busy days, but I've sold out. But it's like, do I want to? Am I going to make enough to sell out? Am I? Do I make? How much do I make? That's the thing. This is, yeah. Anyway,
It's okay to sell out, buddy. That's all right.
I know. I get it.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't think we would sell out in Granville this year. I thought I made enough food. just based on the time frame that we sold out last year. But it was so much more busy this year. Now that we are officially past COVID and we're getting back to normal festival crowds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Next year, the smoker will be full. It'll be full.
Yeah.
And my goal next year will be not to sell out. I'll be happy to throw some food away next year at the end of the night. If I can make it to the point where the festival's done by the time we leave, then that's good.
Yeah.
And the money that we would have made for the night will clearly offset the couple pans of pork I have left.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like I'm gonna go crazy making briskets. I mean, we'll do a little bit more, but we'll be
Yeah.
super heavy on pork.
Yeah. I've gotten the last month. I've looked at my sales on what's selling, and I've been surprised by what I've been selling.
Yeah.
Like there are months that it's very pork heavy, and there's months that it's very brisket heavy. August seemed like it's very, very brisket heavy month.
Yeah.
A lot more.
But I did find that specials don't usually go well at those types of events.
No.
We've had better success this year with them, but depending on chicken legs go well at festivals.
Yep. Walk around with a stick.
Yep. It's a small turkey leg, man.
Yep.
So chicken legs, and then our sliders went pretty well. So I would stick with chicken for
well, I think we're done.
All right, we'll see you. Bye. You
You're
working
sitting-
today?
No.
Okay, good.
I have to go shopping.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. We'll be back when next week? Yeah.
Same food truck time, same food truck channel.
Yes. Monday morning food truck on all the places you can find your podcast. Facebook is Monday MMFT, right?
MMFT, yeah.
Okay.
We're still working on the Facebook. We're getting some likes.
Getting some content?
I have a hard time even controlling my own Facebook. Never mind. Yes, we're working on some content.
All
Yes.
right, good.
Pictures. So at PBJs_BBQ on Instagram. I need some Instagram followers, people.
Yes, he does.
And then at PBJs BBQ of Michigan on Facebook. Yes, all the way. Gotta put it all in there. Where can they find you?
You know, the usual, just Google Sweet Racks and Smoking Butts, and all our stuff will be on the top right there. Instagram, Facebook. Making a push for 10,000 Facebook followers by the end of the year, hopefully by the end of our season in 9 weeks.
Hey, I only need 12 to get to 1,000. I'm getting there.
We had 1,400. We were at 1,400 the month after we opened the truck. That was just from competitions, and now we're at 8,200. So it's grown well, and we're happy to have all our fans and loyal customers.
Yes, you are.
Love you, Skippy.
Without them, there'd be no us.
That's right.
All right. Have a good one, Josh.
You too. See you guys. Bye.